Hey, let's have ourselves a show. Oh, happy Friday, everybody. Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody. Thank you for everyone that has sacrificed to make sure we can have this fine show, that we can have a 3-day weekend, and that we can celebrate our favorite football team, the Tennessee Titans. I am your host, Mr. First Down, a.k.a. Sam Dean, here with Bradley Mangold. Bradley, how are you, sir?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Hey,
Daniel.
Daniel, happy Friday. He got the 3 Y's on the end of it. That's how you know it's for real.
Right.
Anyway, last week you saw me fly solo here, which was fun. It really was. I had a whole thing of notes and everything, and totally didn't sound like I was at a lecture hall. Totally didn't happen. Don't go back and watch that episode. Anyway, so the point, but it's good to have Bradley back, and because Bradley is back, we get to go over the stuff that he might have missed. There was a certain wide receiver named Tyler Boyd that was signed. Bradley, do you have thoughts on Mr. Tyler Boyd?
Interesting. I like it. I mean, I wonder if he's going to play the 2 and Calvin Ridley might be in the slot, but Tyler Boyd is a slot receiver. I know he was in Cincinnati, but I like Calvin Ridley being in the slot with the speed advantage that he has. But either way, I think it will work. But welcome to the Titans. Hopefully this would be a good chance for Treylon Burks to sit and learn and adapt to his new role. Or we'll see what the Callahans have in store for him.
I told everybody this is where we're going to find out about some coaches, right? We're going to find out if they're men of their word, right? Because they can say that we have a plan for Treylon Burks. Are you just saying that, or do you mean that you actually have a plan for Treylon Burks? We're going to find out what that exactly entitles to. Is that plan to put him on the practice squad? Is that plan to, have him just be a depth player? Boy, I mean, it's just weird to have a 4th-year wide receiver drafted in the first round not be passing it out. But I am curious, along with everybody else, how this offensive system is going to look. If he's a great depth player, let him be a great depth player. Tyler Boyd, the one thing I saw of his detractors is he's aging. And I was like, well, we all are. But you, in athletic terms, he is aging, but it hasn't stopped his production. And this team has desperately had to have production.
Mm-hmm.
Had to, because there's just none to be had the last couple of years. So it's time, and I'm more than happy to see it happen. And I mean, and I'll keep beating this drum. There will not be a lot of running the football here. It's just not going to happen. Not going to happen.
Like a 55-45 shift,
Yeah, I think it's going to be more 60, though.
Could be 60.
Callahan keeps, at these press conferences and these podcast interviews, he keeps saying stuff like the team that throws the football the best is the team that wins.
Right. So, my thing with Treylon Burks is I think this would be a good time for him just to sit and learn and get a few reps in when we can, if the Titans go that route. The NFL, man, it's not a friendly business. So you're gonna find out right away. I mean, the one thing I will say about Treylon Burks is it's very tough, not just being a first-round draft pick, but also being the replacement of A.J. Brown. There's a lot of pressure on you to come in to the Titans, who haven't been a team that have been known to draft and develop these great receivers like A.J. Brown. Before him, Kenny Britt, I think, was probably the last one, and that's not saying much. So I think this would be a good time for Treylon just to sit, get some reps, don't get another concussion, and just learn. Maybe get in a little bit better shape. I mean, I don't think his speed's all that great. I think he's good. I just don't think he's obviously not the sharpest tool in the shed when it comes to Phillips, I think, might be a little bit ahead of him. I don't know. It's just so weird, but I can't picture like before we drafted Tyler Boyd, I couldn't see Traylon Burks in the slot behind Hopkins and Ridley. I would still put Ridley in the slot, but now that we have Boyd and Ridley and Hopkins, I mean, he's going to be the fourth string, maybe the fifth string. Who knows? It all depends on the Callahan system. We're going to find out. I can't wait to find out what's going to happen because I'm prepared to see what this offense is going to look like without Henry. So it's going to be weird.
That's one of the best ways to put it. I am prepared to see what's about to happen. Because we are entering uncharted waters that we haven't visited since the Air McNair days. No. So this is big time. This is what most of the league has turned into. And boy, if it pays off, let's hope it pays off big. Let's see. Next topic. The schedule is out, Brad. The schedule is out. One primetime game, which I'm fine with. There's a lot of griping about that. Your thoughts on the schedule?
So week 1, the Bears. That's
you want to catch Caleb early though. If Caleb's going to be good, you might as well catch him early.
And Chicago does have some good receivers. DJ Moore, Allen. They drafted Rome Meduzzi, so. And they got a good running back. I've always been a big fan of DeAndre Swift. Chicago has a decent O-line, not too bad. They got a good secondary, just like we do on paper. So Jalen Johnson, good rookie. That's one of the guys we mentioned during free agency. He was one of our corners on our watch list. Then we got the Jets. That's a team with another good defense, and hopefully Aaron Rodgers doesn't get injured on Monday night again, week 1. That's weird.
After a couple of plays.
Yeah. And then we got Green Bay and then at Miami, and that's the first 4 games. That's pretty yeah, I'm not gonna say that's pretty tough, the first 4 games.
I've already put it out there that I don't think we're gonna win that Miami game. They're gonna be mad, they're gonna be livid, it's gonna be hot on that sideline.
Yeah. And that's good news for Tua. He doesn't have to worry about the cold. So
right, yeah, exactly. But I'm worried about that game. Giving it, I already have it as an L when I was looking at the schedule because that team's going to want blood and they're going to throw absolutely everything at you. Absolutely.
And another thing I agree with, I don't know who said it first. It might have been Jeffrey Simmons. The primetime game, we haven't had a winning season in 2 seasons. We're not going to get
Yeah, no.
We're not going to get a lot of this. I don't know why Jeffrey Simmons is upset about that. That was just kind of like, you know this, Jeffrey Simmons. You know it's a business. They got to put the best product on the field. But what really sucks is the week 5 bye week. That's what, to me, is horrendous because that's a very early bye week. And that's Colts, Bills, Detroit, New England, Chargers, Minnesota, Houston, Washington, Jacksonville, Cincinnati.
Oh, boy.
And then the last 3 games, Colts, Jaguars, and the Texans. So I think it's a pretty solid schedule, but the bye week's my biggest concern. That's an early bye week, especially with a team that has been known as injury prone over the last 4 years. So it's an early bye week. Yeah, so I think it's a good schedule. I mean, like I said, I think I got Jacksonville finishing last this year. I don't predict records no more because Titans always break my heart every time I predict records, so I don't do it.
So we're so doing that. Anyway.
But I got Jaguars finishing last. I do have the Texans as the favorite just because they have matched Tennessee very well in the offseason. They just gone back and forth.
We also know what they are. They're a known quandary. You know what I mean?
And then the Colts. Yeah, exactly. And Colts, I'm not going to rule them out because they always give us a tough time. And Anthony Richardson
going to take over, right? About 6 weeks in. I'm not an AR believer. So it's hard for me to be like, you know.
The big pressure, I mean, is going to be Will Levis. I think he can do it. It's just, can he stay healthy? And I think JC Latham, I kind of want him on the right side. I know we should put him on the left side to protect Will Levis's blind spot, but that right side of the line is not as strong as the left side.
I can tell you, he's going to the left side. There ain't no movement there. Papa Callahan has made it perfectly clear. By the way, speaking of Papa Callahan, that guy is one of the coolest old dudes ever. He's got his own 380-pound push sleds named Bertha and Olga. JC Latham, you can hear him mic'd up on YouTube if you want to, saying, "All right, Bertha, let's dance," and whatever. And they won't move unless you put your hands in the right spot.
Yeah.
That's some cool stuff right there. And he owns that. He patents that. That's really cool. But like you can have reporters over there that are saying like, dude, I learned more about the offensive line from this guy just listening to him. This is clearly one of the best, if not the best, offensive line coaches. And boy, am I glad he's on my team. So I'll be ready.
I will say, go ahead. Before, go ahead and finish up.
I feel a lot better about the O line the more I hear this guy and watch the teamwork. That's all I was really saying.
Well, the good news is when it comes to the schedule, when I'm looking at the schedule right now, the Bears have a pretty decent pass rush. The Jets, pretty decent but not great. Green Bay's decent, not great. Miami, I don't think they have that great of a pass rush. Colts, they just have Buckner there in the middle. DeForest Buckner, that's a big boy there. Buffalo with Ed Oliver. Detroit has a good pass rush with Hutchinson. New England, no. Chargers, all depends on Bosa if he can stay healthy. Minnesota, nope. Houston does have a good defensive front now. They got Little Hunter and Autry and those other guys. Washington, they have a good defensive line, but they just never seem to produce well. I don't know. It's weird. Jacksonville, Josh Allen, but Bengals, Trey Hendrickson, Colts, Buckner again, Jacksonville, Josh Allen, and then Week 18 against Houston. So it's not pretty. I mean, we don't have facing I'm not saying bad defenses, but it's a mixture of pretty 5 and 6 on scale.
You can't believe in the Jags that much, Allen. Come on. Colts 5 and 12. I don't know. Colts have a good head coach. I would put the Colts. I want us to go to 2. I think the Jags are gonna. I think they're gonna plummet.
They don't have a receiver.
I don't believe in Sunshine. I don't believe in Sunshine, the quarterback, either. I just don't. I just can't.
The thing about Jacksonville, they let Calvin really go, and Gabe Davis.
Well, let's be clear. They didn't let him go. We stole Calvin.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it kind of looks anyway. But yeah, Gabe Davis, that's not really as great as it gets as everybody makes it sound, unless you know that
he's had a couple of good games, but other than that, he's inconsistent. He's got some injuries, but I don't even think I can't even name another wide receiver on Jacksonville right now outside of Gabe Davis.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. The intriguing part about this, and it seems to keep coming down to this, and I wonder if everybody else is scheduled the same way, is all those division games right in that December, November range.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
It dribbles it. And, you know, I was like, man, the division's going to be decided in December. That's how it's going to be decided.
Again.
That'd
be in Houston, though, so that's the good news. No, it's in Tennessee, so okay.
Yeah. I'll be there. I'll be there with bells on, probably freezing to death. But I look at that schedule and I'm okay with it. No, it's not bad. You have to, but at least you got full weeks before you play anybody, right? Yeah. There is no Thursday night football where you have 3 days to prepare, stuff like that. No. You have to prepare for each one of these, which is what you would like for a brand new offense and a brand new coach and everything that goes along with it.
Hopefully during the preseason we'll see some.
We don't have another division. Okay, so they have the same problem too. The Cowboys do. So yeah, they're just dribbling them all there at the end, Alan, and I'm not really sure why.
And the crazy thing about the Cowboys is, I believe, if I remember correctly, I think the last 8 of their games, 6 of them are at home.
Oh,
that's crazy. It's something along that line. I remember they talked about it on YouTube. I just can't remember. It's 6 of the last 8 or 5 of the last 7, something like that. But Dallas always seems like they play more home games than road games for some reason. They don't, but it seems like they do for me.
So I guess I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, during the preseason, I would definitely like to see the first half, at least the first half of maybe not the fourth game, but maybe the first 3 games, the first half of every preseason game, the offense on the field, just to see what they can do. Yeah, Steelers have a very tough schedule.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happened. That AFC North division is just a nest of vipers. I mean, that's all it is. There's not a lot you could do about that.
Yeah, that division's gonna be. The good news about the Steelers, though, is, like, I was just talking about this the other day, and they were talking about this on ESPN. Like, we all know Arthur Smith wasn't good in Atlanta because he's not a head coach guy. He's not a bad coach. He's just not a head coach guy.
Right.
He's an offensive coordinator with a veteran like Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson should get better because we saw Arthur Smith can do it. Tannehill. The good news is,
and the Chiefs and the Eagles.
Yeah. The good news is about when Arthur Smith was in Tennessee with Tannehill was when he had Derrick Henry and AJ Brown.
Right.
You don't have that in Pittsburgh. Now, they do have 2 good running backs in Pittsburgh.
Kenny Pickett.
That guy. Yeah, and I know Steelers. They're gonna find out real quick if it's gonna be Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. They're gonna find out real quick.
I'd be curious what the debate up there is. Like, who do you want? Like,
they're gonna start Russell Wilson first.
I mean, logically that's the right thing. But I'd be curious up there if the fan base isn't a little bit torn with like wanting to see
right. The fans in the stands. We want Fields,
Fields. That's right. I can't remember his name. Justin Fields. But back to the team that's in Tuto Bloom, which we proudly represent, him in Ohio and me in the home state of Tennessee, holding down the fort. The game you're most looking forward to on this schedule. I want the Bills. I want them bad. October 20th. That's the game that I'm like, I want a piece of them.
Yeah.
We've always been pretty chippy. It gets a little chippy out there on the field anytime we see the Bills. And Josh Allen always runs his mouth about something. So I will like a piece of that team. I want them.
I'm going to give you 3. And we'll start with the bronze medal. Week 18, Houston.
Oh,
just to see where we're at.
That's for something, right? Yeah,
that's just to see where we're at. The silver medal at the Chargers, because they got a great offensive line too, and Justin Herbert's a good guy. I know they don't have receivers. I know they signed DJ Chark, who's a good number 2, but he's not a number 1 receiver. But that'd be a good matchup. And number 1 at Detroit. I think that's gonna be a tough game. Detroit has a good team. I
would love to go up there for that game. I had a great time in Detroit at the draft. Right. I would love to go up there. If Justin Fields takes over and excels, the Steelers will be a big problem in the AFC. I agree. If Justin Fields, excels, that's the kicker right there. But yeah, yeah. I mean, if I give 2 others. I think that Patriots-Titans game will be pretty good. I think the Dolphins game will be another one. If you beat the Dolphins twice, like you beat them last year barely, but if something happens again during that Dolphins game and you win it, let's say it's another like clandestine ending, and Will Levis does it again, then you officially live in their heads rent free.
Right.
So that would be kind of funny if it ends up that way. Then, you have everybody on the Dolphins going, why does this keep happening?
Yeah. The knock on the Dolphins is, they're just that defense is weird. They just haven't. I feel like they should have done more defensively. Like, especially, I mean, they got Hill and Waddle. If Waddle could stay healthy, that would definitely help out Hill more.
Right.
Shout out to Tyreek Hill for complimenting on the Titans' updated wide receiver room. I appreciate that from
love that.
Mr. Hill.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, the schedule's not too bad. I think it's like right in the middle between easy and hard. I mean, Chicago, that's a young team. I mean, we should suspect Caleb Williams to struggle. He's a rookie in Chicago who has never had a good coach in their entire. Well, my fault, not coach. Never had a good quarterback since. Was it? I can't remember his name from the 80s.
McMahon,
yeah, that was like the last only good consistent quarterback they had. Went to Super Bowl. Rex Grossman, no, I remember that. That was good times, but
sexy.
That's an interesting matchup for Week 1. That's gonna be. I like.
Yeah,
that.
You've got two teams that you have no idea what they're going to look like, or about to like walk out there and strut their.
I mean, the only thing that talks about the Bears is I don't trust their coaching staff.
Eberflus.
Yeah, I don't trust. I mean, I didn't think Justin Fields was the issue in Chicago. I know that fan base is like 50-50.
I'm still shocked he's gone. I'm still shocked he's gone.
I was very surprised that Steelers took him, but they had to because Kenny Pickett got a hissy fit and left. And instead of, hey, like, dude, you could sit for a year and learn from Russell Wilson, and would have helped you out. Not just the Fields, who plays just like Russell Wilson, gets to sit behind him and learn. So it's a win-win for Pittsburgh.
I know plenty of Steelers fans that were mad about the way the Steelers treated him. They were not happy that he was kind of like told to go on and get. And they thought, of course, he's a native there, went to college there and whatnot. So they took that a lot harder than they probably should have. I don't know if he's going to inspire loyalty like the way Mariota did in this fan base. Goodness. I hope all you Mariota fans out there love your wives as much as you love that man, because it doesn't matter what you say. He was never going to do it. I just don't know what else to tell you. Next up, I was thinking about this the other day. Draft dark horses. Okay. Now, who do you think, besides J.C. Latham, we'll take him out of the equation. Who do you think that was drafted this year on this team is going to be better than you think?
I like Cedric Gray. Mm-hmm. I'll put him, and then who is that safety we took from Louisville? I'm trying to find his name right now.
I think he's going to be a linebacker, though, is what I heard. I think they're going to make him a linebacker.
That's not his name.
Or is that the Miami guy? You're talking about Brownlee, the cornerback?
Yeah, he's not on the depth. He's not on. I can't find him on the roster.
He's gone.
Right, he's gone. There he is. Yeah, no, that's a linebacker. I'll go with Cedric Gray anyway. I'll pick him. I mean, hopefully Cedric Gray can be that guy because, like I said, Kenneth Murray, I like that addition. If he can stay healthy, great. He's a young kid, got a lot of talent. I know a Charger fan, great friend of mine. Shout out to you, Garth. If you're watching this later, he's a Chargers fan. He knows how good he is. Problem is, he just has that. He gets this nagging injury, and it just lingers throughout the year. So that's the downside. And I think the other thing I'm looking forward to is seeing how. Because I always said this to Titans fans before Mike Vrabel got fired. I think Mike Vrabel's play style maybe led to a lot of injuries. I could be wrong, but
no, that's kind of the thing that he practiced them so hard that they would legit be battered and bruised before they reached the game. Right now, some people react really well to that. Jeffrey Simmons certainly did. Kevin Byard certainly did, but
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Kevin Byard, week 1, Bears. I forgot. He's a Bear now.
Oh, if he snags an interception.
He probably will.
There will be a tweet that I told you we shouldn't have let him go. And I'm like, shut up.
Hey, Ryan Tannehill's still a free agent. So
he's going to Minnesota. That's my bet. I think he's going to go to Minnesota.
He should. He should go. He should be a backup to somebody that can.
You can't be there with with Sam Darnold and tell me you feel safe at quarterback. That's no.
I'm just glad he's out of Tennessee. I mean, I'll love Tannehill for what he did, but I wouldn't want him behind Will Levis teaching him.
Hey now, the dream is over. Yeah, it's done. But I think he's going to be wearing purple next year. Personally, Cedric Gray is also my pick for dark horse, but I think it's that Tavondre or Tiandre Sweat in the second round. Those interviews and everything. This guy is fantastic.
Big boys.
Yeah. No, he's just so funny. He's just arguing with Mike Keith about what the real UT is, and it's so funny.
Right.
And I immensely enjoy his attitude and candor. He's got to drop weight though. 366.
Oh yeah,
big
boy.
That's not there. They'll find some sort of happy medium there, but we need you not to have a stroke and die on the field. So that would be preferable.
Hey, play in Texas, man. You know, and you're that Texas heat down there, so
yeah, no joke. Looking at other Titans news around here, they're talking about moving the safety I think that they got from Miami into a linebacker position. So I that's what he was told, that he was going to be practicing for linebacker. So that's how they think they're going to fill this thing out. You still need a need in safety. I don't know if they're going to be able to grab Justin Simmons or not. I don't even know if he's still out there. I haven't seen it.
He's still out there.
What is going on? Is
I don't
he just
know if
sitting there with like
he
a million
could be waiting for a contender. Like, I hope not the Chiefs. That would be the ultimate slap in the face of the Broncos nation. But I don't know. I mean, I've heard Tennessee's interested in him, but yet I haven't seen him visit. I haven't seen any communications opening up, talking to him. I mean, I heard rumors or hearsay, I like to call it, like, hey, he wants to come here, but yet it's not happening. So I don't know. It's weird, but yeah, we do need that safety, because I know there's been a lot of talk. Like Amani Hooker wants to wear the green dot on his helmet. I think it should be Jeffrey Simmons or L'Jarius Sneed, in my opinion. It should be between those two, because that's another thing to watch. I mean, like I tell Titans fans, this is why I'm optimistic. On paper, it looks good, but like I jumped on Austin from AZ Sportsville. Like, I remember last season during OTAs and training camp preseason, this team looks good. And it's like midway through the season, like, man, I thought this team was going to be better. It's like, well, that's why you wait till Sundays. You don't go off training camp and OTAs. You got to wait till Sundays. You got to see how they do on Sundays.
It's like the people celebrating Caleb Williams having a bad 7-on-7 practice. Guys, not there.
So, he's learning. Yeah. So, on defense, defense has me only worried because it's a 50-50 shot. We've seen big name athletes in football and any other sport get these big contracts, and then they go to new teams and it blows up in their face. I don't see that happening with L'Jarius Sneed, but new DC coming in, we'll see how that works out. And then on the offense side of the ball, I think the offensive line is going to be way better. Receiving core is good. It's what worries me on the offense is with the Keen Henry not being here. Now, I mean, and especially if the run game doesn't produce, then it's going to be a lot more pressure on Will Levis, and that's not what we want in a second-year quarterback. Because I know the only thing I have to say about Will Levis is, besides staying healthy, is I know he has tremendous arm strength, and that's why his accuracy across the middle and short is crucial to pick it up quick. No more lob passes to the running back. Don't leave him open to get smacked. But I can't wait. I mean, preseason, I'm going to be excited. I'm going to watch. I hope the offense gets reps, because I think, like, I'm not saying that's what did it last season, but like when I saw Tannehill barely play at all, I'm like, why is Tannehill not on the field in these preseason games with a new offensive coordinator, new receivers, new offensive line? Why is he not out here? And we saw him in the final preseason game for 3 snaps, which were all run plays. I'm like, how is that going to get him better? And then we saw the catastrophe of week 1 with Tannehill against the Saints. He threw 3 interceptions. So
you can look at it a ton of different ways, but I think the bottom line is they knew if they lost Tannehill, you would have no shot. So I think they played cautious there. But according to the quote that I've looked at, Callahan said they're going to be playing in the preseason. So there's going to be, I think you're going to see him for 3 games.
Good.
How much you're going to see him, don't know. I would imagine, judging by usually pass-happy teams, they're in there for a series or 2. Rev your engines, boy. Rev your engine. I know that makes you excited and that makes you rev your engine, Brad. But
I'm excited for Tajay Spears. My brother's a huge Cowboy fan. I know a lot of Cowboys fans. Tony Pollard, when he got the reins to take over, he didn't produce as they thought he would.
Oh, he's number 2. He's number 2.
He should be number 2 behind Tajay Spears.
There's no
doubt in my mind. Also, the receiver from Tulane, I'm interested to see what happens with him because, I mean, remember what happened? We drafted A.J. Brown. He came in and snagged Corey Davis's number 1 receiver job. He's like, give me that. You don't deserve that. So maybe
I think he's the kick returner, personally. I think he's the kick returner. He'll
definitely be a returner, but he maybe say, hey, Traylon Burks, I'm coming for your job, buddy. It's up. Because like right now we know Traylon is number 4, number 5 on the depth chart. And if he goes into practice on Sundays and runs routes better, catches balls, and racks up yards at the catch better.
Best man plays. Man plays.
Yeah, I go with the best man plays. That's a good way to put it. That's what scares me. But I mean, I'm not giving up on Traylon Burks, but it's just hard to believe in a guy that has missed 12 games and only has 1 touchdown.
Say something, I'm giving up on. Make a play, I'm giving up on you.
Just like Tannehill and Mariota and Clipboard Jesus. As long as you're in a Titans uniform, I will support you. You get praise.
Invoked the name of Clipboard Jesus.
God, you're Charlie Windhorse.
Oh, wow.
Clipboard Jesus.
Here's the fun part. Terry McCormick, who has covered the Titans since 1997. That's the very beginning, everybody. That's Genesis.
Yeah.
Saw more passes thrown today at Titans practice than in a week under previous regimes. Okay. This team, this offense is going to look so different. The question is, will it work? That's what everybody's question is. But there is a lot of talk about the green dot. I'm not exactly sure. If you and I like Cedric Gray, we want Cedric Gray to have that green dot on his head. That's what we want. We want him to be that good. But as to anything else, I mean, we're basically in the doldrums of, the off season. We're watching some OTA film, and that's all fine. It's fun watching Latham push the sleds, Olga and Bertha all over the place. That's kind of funny. But I think personally that you need to embarrass Chicago if you really want people to feel good about this. Yeah. I don't care about I don't give a flip. I'm not going to be one of those fans that Peyton Manning and the Colts lost every. They didn't care. They didn't care. Yeah. They did not care, and nor should you. So, but boy, it's going to be hard to keep the buzz down if you go out in Chicago and just absolutely mop the floor with them. Oh, here's what I was looking for. The defense is going to be more aggressive this year. Now, there is a good thing and a bad to that. The good thing is your interceptions will go up. The bad thing is when you miss, and you will miss, the touchdowns are going to go up too for the other team. So you're hoping that the players that are on defense right now, especially in the new secondary, make the right gamble when they go for balls, because they're going to be trying to leap in front of those suckers every chance they get.
Right.
And you just hope that, let them get their 5-yard out. Don't make the 5-yard or 25-yard or worse, or anything like that. It's kind of the way I see that.
Yeah,
working out.
Looking at the schedule, going back to the schedule, Chicago, good receiving core, but a lot of pressure on the coaches and Caleb Williams. Mm-hmm. The Jets will be a tough matchup because Aaron Rodgers is a wizard. I know he's old, but he's still Aaron Rodgers. Green Bay, they showed a lot of promise last year. Receiving core is they're not bad. It's not good. They're right in the middle between decent. Miami has a killer receiving core when they're healthy. But L'Jarius Sneed knows Tyreek Hill very well, so that's the good news. Colts. I mean, they got Michael Pittman, Buffalo. I know they got a couple of young, good receivers, but Detroit, that would be a good one. New England's not there yet. Chargers have Herbert, but they don't have a great receiver. Minnesota, of course, has Justin Jefferson, but they got J.J. McCarthy. He's a rookie. And then Houston, that's gonna be a tough matchup.
That's for blood. Yeah.
Jacksonville, not so much. Cincinnati be a tough matchup. Colts would be decent. Jaguars, no. And then Texans again. Yeah, that's gonna be some brutal ones. So just like the pass rushing against the offensive line and Traversa, it's not bad. But Chicago, I mean, they do got a good receiving core. It's all about the matchup. And Keenan Allen, despite him and DeAndre Hopkins, I think they're the oldest two receivers now. They still good. He's a great route runner. So whoever's on him, get ready because he's tall and he knows how to run his routes good.
Who do you think is going to be the number one wide receiver this year?
In Chicago?
No, for us.
For us? DeAndre Hopkins. It should be.
He told Ridley, "You better come get it," because he's not giving up that position. Not if he can.
I would rather see Calvin Ridley in the slot more than Boyd, just because of the speed that he has over Boyd. But he can't. I mean, so it's all about matchups. Maybe they'll swap like Ridley and Boyd on snaps or certain games just based on matchups. But I know week 1, D Hop and Jalen Johnson are going to go at it.
Oh yeah, no, it's going to be big boy ball. It's going to be big boy ball. Well, that about wraps up this show. Enjoy these little 30-minute plus talks we get to do during the off season. Hopefully, we'll have some more stuff in OTAs and have a more defining picture of it all. Brad, you have any last final thoughts before we hop on out of here?
No, thank you guys for tuning in. You guys are awesome. Enjoy the night and enjoy the show.
Absolutely. Hey, and thanks to all, Memorial Day. It's great to have 3 days off. I personally am getting ready to have a beer downstairs and eat a sandwich. It's going to be great. But don't forget the reason we get to have a cookout and stuff like that. And that's because guys gave up everything. So we can have it. No, you're okay. So we could have our freedoms to do as we wish. Man, he's going by that one spot over and over. That's amazing. Anyway, so we hope you have a good night. Have a great evening. We will catch you on the flip side. This is Sam, and I will speak for Brad, the Invisible Man. And when we say good night, everybody, and have a great Memorial Day weekend. See you later.